Hi, I'm Dennis.
Hi.
And this is Peter, my friend from New York City in America. And you visited us for the first time in the Netherlands for 1 week. And we want to talk about your first impressions of the Netherlands.
I'll do that, but how was my hi?
You didn't do a hi this time, I think. Did you do a hi?
Hi.
Oh, yeah. Hi.
That's what I've been hearing everyone say to me, and I like it, so I'm going to do it.
Yeah, keep it going. Bring it into America. Yeah.
So first impressions. I'm going to use the word quirky chic.
Oh.
I think everything in Amsterdam that I saw when I was walking around was very stylish, but also very geometric. Mm-hmm. So things look organized and neat, but then something's tilted or something's a little special, and I like that because it's a major city, but there's little nuances that make it very special. So I enjoyed that. Dutch people, I mean, I've known these guys, but Dutch people, some people say hi, they smile, but as soon as you say hi to someone, it's a smile and a hi back. So I liked that. I thought the Dutch people made this trip wonderful. I had a really nice time. So overall, it's been a great trip.
Have you noticed, because like we visited Amsterdam in the beginning, it was the first day, but then you got to the other side, like to the east of the country where it's more rural and stuff. Do you see the people say that we are very direct? Mm-hmm. Did you see that during this week?
Yes. You know, just in little instructions, it wasn't, oh, let me help you with that, or let me do that. Just like, no, go that way, this, you know, do you want a big receipt, a little receipt, which is something different. You know, it wasn't a big conversation, but people were very friendly. Mm-hmm. Direct, I think more with the people you know. I don't think like people in public were more direct, a little bit.
No, yeah. But you got to see some of our friends, our family.
I saw you guys be more direct with each other. I think everyone knew I was the tourist and was maybe a little nicer, but everyone's very direct. Mm-hmm.
Were you scared by it as a tourist, or what did it make you feel?
Not scared, but I like small talk. You know, I'm American, I say hi to everybody. So I was a little apprehensive, like, should I say hi to these people? But everyone was friendly, you know, said things here and there, tried to speak. That was one thing that I really appreciated. If you tried to say something, people responded back, not like when you go to other countries and they'll just, because everyone here speaks English and they speak English very, very well. But, you know, they would try to let you butcher their language, like, I'll try, wait.
I think
Dank u wel. There we go.
Very good. What other words do you remember?
Lekker.
Yeah, you had the shirt lekker when you came through on the airport. You had the shirt.
Well, you told me
lekker.
that meant hi.
It does.
Hi and welcome.
Yeah.
No,
welcome.
It means tasty.
Yeah.
Goed.
Ja, goed.
Yeah. Van Ho instead of Van Gogh.
Yeah, you're halfway there. I'm direct. It's Van Gogh. It's okay.
What is it? I'm sorry?
Van Gogh.
Van Gogh.
Yeah. See, you can do it.
But I think it was interesting because I was at this great museum that I went to. Coolest museum.
Which one was it?
The Holler.
Krullenmuller?
Krullenmuller, yep,
Yes.
that was it.
It was really beautiful.
And I'm listening to the audio guide and I said, who is Van Gogh? Who is Van Gogh? I said, I don't understand. And then I figured it out.
And then you saw the paintings like, oh, it's Van Gogh. Yeah.
All right, can we talk about European air conditioning?
Talk about the air conditioning.
It's actually not as bad as Americans might say. Like when you watch TikTok, like I literally saw one today where someone was in the US, had like a window unit checking into the airport, but they're probably going to Italy, Greece, somewhere like that. Here it's pretty good. You go into stores, you go into the supermarket, fine. Even houses have it. Is it on as much as Americans? Not really, not at all. It's only when it's really, really hot. I'm used to sub-zero, like you walk in and you need a jacket. So it's a little different. I'm sweating right now. I'm schwitzing a little bit.
Our air conditioning has not been on as much since like 3 years that we got it. For this week, yes. Yeah. Like we would be sitting in our house and it would be just perfect. And he was like, can we turn on the... I was like, yeah, sure. But it's like, for us Dutch people, not all houses have air conditionings.
Okay.
It's getting more and more because summers are getting hotter. But we don't turn it on unless we really feel like, But I think it's also a little bit Dutch cheapness.
Which I appreciate. You know what? That's the main thing that I appreciate about Dutch culture. I think there's a simplicity, but a sophistication with it too. Meaning that you don't need a lot, and just going to Lidl or other grocery stores, you could have a very good meal, good cheese, good wine for much cheaper in the US. Everyone can enjoy good quality stuff. So I appreciate that. That's one thing I think I'm going to take home where, you don't need to go to the fanciest shop and do this. And, just getting together with friends and family, it's not, I don't know. I just got to appreciate, but, it's also, it's not similar. I mean, it was vacation for me, but I was living with people versus being in a hotel and the beach or something like that. So I appreciate it.
Talking about groceries and food that we had a lot of Dutch food this week, right?
Yeah, I thought I was coming here to lose weight because I heard about Dutch portions, but I don't know about that one. I don't know. It's been pretty good.
We wanted to give you...
It's American approved.
Yeah. What were kind of like your favorite items that you tasted over the week?
Oh, a lot. Can I have a few or just one?
Yeah, a few. Go ahead.
All right. I really like I do this in any European city or anywhere around the world that I go. It's just going to a supermarket and getting cheese and other stuff. A little weird, but I really liked the Osterwurst.
Is this like ox sausage?
It's not ox sausage. It's ox raw meat. It's like ox
yeah.
tartare.
Yeah, it's raw meat, yeah.
And in the US, do we have that? Yes, but you have to go to a very expensive shop or the fine dining, French restaurant. You can't go into the store, into the cold cut or deli section and get it. At first I was like, what is that? Do we have to cook it? And it was really good. So if I could find it at home, I'll eat it. And maybe Polish market or something. The cheese was good. You guys have the toothpaste style large sauces that I like.
Oh, the
yeah, that's so unique. Because you could just squeeze it on things.
Yeah.
It makes it much easier because you're not taking knives and stuff. But I really enjoyed going to the Cafeteria Loman. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, well, that's just but we have the cafeterias and the snack bars where you get like the fries and the deep fried snacks.
Yeah, and let me tell you about that. So at first he's like, we're going to the cafeteria, and I first thought of some, going to the UK. I'm like, oh, it's probably like a chip shop, maybe a few different things. It's gonna be like not my best meal, but it'll be good. It'll be like nice greasy food. It was so good. It was so good.
It is.
It was because it wasn't just here's your fried food. It was things put together that you wouldn't normally put. So they would take French fries, and we had 3 different kinds. One had like a beef stew on it. One had peanut sauce, a satay sauce, and mayonnaise on everything. There's that's why the mayonnaise is this big.
Yeah.
It's bigger than American size. Even at Costco, I've never seen mayonnaise that big.
Crazy, right?
A cool thing about Dutch culture, which I'm curious if you're an American viewer, comment below, is did you know that there's like an Indonesian influence, one of the colonies? It's something that I didn't know, maybe other people do. You know the Caribbean, you know other places, obviously New York, there was, colonization. But the Indonesian culture, you see it come in where Chinese food has a little more of what we eat, like Thai food, there's the satay and the peanut sauce. But the Chinese food was cool. It's more noodles. I don't know. I thought that was cool. And the other cool... Can I keep going?
Please.
Because I talk a lot.
I love it. That's why we're here. We want to hear your experience.
But I've met my match. We went to the Open Air Museum, but how do you say it?
Yeah, Open Air Museum.
No, but in Dutch.
Openlucht Museum.
Openlucht Museum. Yeah. And, everything, there was windmills and stuff, but there was a whole section about the Indonesian influence, and you got to go around and see the flowers and the things. And I appreciated that because it... I don't know, it spoke to something different, but you see it. It's not just like, oh, it happened. Like, you see it in the food, similar to, like, Indian food in the UK.
A lot of the Dutch people don't even realize that it's the influence from the time that we colonized Indonesia. Like the satay sauce, peanut sauce, and the noodle disc that you loved as well, right? The deep fried noodle disc. Yeah, the bami inside it's all comes from that culture, and a lot of people don't even realize because it's so common here. I also never knew it until I was older. Because we would eat like those types of things weekly, the bami dishes or rice dishes from Indonesia.
Is it taught in school? The influence and.
Of course, the history is taught, but never the connection was. For me, at least, it didn't click food-wise, like that whole thing.
Wait, we have to stop the whole video.
No.
The best food
Oh, what?
was your mom's meatballs.
Oh. I was like, what? Where's he going?
I forgot about that. I was thinking when we went out and other stuff. But just real quick, because I feel like, well, it's STUFR. It's food's involved.
Food, yeah.
We also did a little pancake night, which I am definitely going to do at home. Pannekuchen? Pannekuchen, yeah.
you're
I
good.
remember, no, I don't.
Yeah, you remember.
But they put the pancake and the bacon was inside, but you put it actually in the batter and then you flip it. And then there was one that we made with sugar, and I think the lemon was your touch, right?
No, it's a French touch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But it was good. And then the syrup, I do like maple syrup better, but the syrup was good. Mm-hmm. But it definitely went with it. Like I would buy it and do it.
It goes very well with the bacon, the sweetness of this syrup, this type of syrup with the bacon. Oh, heaven.
What were the puffy ones called?
Poffertjes.
The puffertures.
Little round puffy pancakes.
I mean, that you can't beat. Oh, and Oma's cake. Let me tell you about Oma's cake.
The apple pie.
Oh, it was so good. That was the best apple anything I've ever tasted in my life.
Dutch apple pies are something else. You'll have the French tarte tatin, which is amazing,
No,
I have to say.
no, this
but
is
the
much
Dutch,
better.
yeah, I also love it. It's very cinnamony and
It's
it has
big
raisins.
and thick.
Yeah.
You could tell someone, it takes a long time for someone to make, and it's layered. It's not just, like American apple pie is good, but this was better. Sorry, this was much better. You might be shipping me an Oma pie. Or a recipe.
Oh, recipes there are plenty online, but it's really something else. I also love, it's my one cake that I always love.
Have you made it before?
I have, but not recently. I did in the past, I have, but it's not that complicated, I have to say. But it just takes a little bit of time, so that's why I prefer buying it. Brenda heeft 10 minuten niks gezegd. Brenda had to be silent for 10 minutes. She needs to leave out a little.
It's rolling already.
Oh, sorry. He's very strict. See, I'm not the strict one. Tim is very strict as well. Anyway,
I'm German.
sorry.
Take 3. So another thing, I mean, I know a little French. Italian people talk with their hands, they're pointing at stuff. German, lovely people. Language is hard to understand, but Dutch is really hard to understand because you hear a few words here and there, and like I can understand what you're saying, but it has to be in context. It's not. I'm not hearing the words. I just hear like someone's name, like they're coming over. Like you can kind of piece together if you know what's happening. If you threw me in the middle of someone's house that I never met, I'd have no idea. It's a lot of people say Americans are loud. Dutch people are loud too, and not in a bad way. It's just. I wouldn't say it's like a very like, oh, hello, how are you? Like it's loud. And it's an emotive language, like where people express themselves. But it's a little harder to pick up as a tourist, I will say. Yeah. It's not as...
But I think, like you said earlier in the video, I think we appreciate it if a person tries at least to say dankjewel or a few words. We love that. That's perfect. You don't need to do more than that because we'll adapt to... We are very used to adapting because we're such a small country, so we learn other languages too.
And everyone knows English, so I think it's like kind of, you don't have to. You can kind of just...
Yeah.
But you try. But at first, that was something very funny. At first, I was like, if you know me, I talk, not a lot, but I talk and I'm friendly, but I was afraid to talk because like I didn't know what to say. Like if you know French or you know a few words, I was just like, so I'd be in a store, like I've never done this in my life, like paying without saying anything. It looked like I was unfriendly, and I was just like putting up my card and like walking away. But then I got used to it.
Yeah.
I think we glamorize European cultures. Americans glamorize, like, oh, it's Dutch, oh, it's French, it's British, like it's so cool. It's normal. Things are normal. You talk a lot about Dutch frugality. I see it. But I also see I think you explained it to an extreme where I thought I'd be like, reusing towels for 3 months. Like it was, or like I couldn't, turn on the air conditioner. Like it wasn't that. No. And I think people can still, like the restaurants, like you saw people go out and have a nice meal, which price-wise was very comparable to like a high-end American restaurant. So it's not like, everyone's sitting at home with like pasta and ramen. Like people, there are, things. But I think I appreciate it a little more because I think that Dutch people value certain things, and like you can't have a big car, and you can't,
There's no space.
there's no space. But I'm starting to, like, it made me think about those things. Like, do I need that? Do I need that? Wine's a lot cheaper. Do you need the $30 bottle of wine? Like, it's just, like, these things are simple, and they're not, the quality's good. I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
If the quality for lower priced items in America were as good as Dutch lower priced items, I think it would be a lot easier to be frugal in America.
Yeah, yeah. So what would be the one thing you would want to tell a foreign tourist or somebody thinking about maybe moving here even? What would you tell them about the Netherlands that you would say, this is like, in one sentence or whatever?
Get to know the people. They're what make the country. I think that the people here, they're funny. And I say quirky, and that's... they're funny. And they're quirky, but not in a bad way. It's like, it's not like boring and rigid and rule following. It's, it's people that enjoy life, get along with each other. Family's important, friends. But I use the word quirky because people just, I don't know, they made me laugh. Like, they were personable. There was charm to it. It wasn't standoffish at all.
Very opinionated as well, but in their own way, maybe. It's like you said, everybody has their own opinion and is allowed to be.
Everyone has a strong personality.
Yeah.
Where people aren't chameleons.
Yeah.
And people have a sense of identity. That's what I've known, where I saw very different people within the same town.
Yeah. Right.
But everyone gets along. So it's not very, like, uniform.
No, not at all.
But there's a commonality. Like, people look different, they sound different, they, do different jobs.
But I really think that's a really perfect way of saying it, the way you just said it. There's a lot of personality, but also within a community kind of feel. So you are allowed to be who you are.
Right.
I think that is, I think that is a perfect way of summing it up.
And also Dutch culture too. I think there is an American influence. There's a British influence.
Sure.
You can get what you need. It's not like you're coming here and you're going to be without X, Y, and Z, or you can't go to this type of restaurant, or, I think. I don't know, what do you think? Do you think, like, let's say I was an American that moved to a Dutch town, do you think people would welcome me? Would I feel like an outsider?
It all depends on the town. There are also towns that find it hard to let new people in, but that doesn't need to be a foreigner. It just if I would move to that town, they would also have a hard time letting me in. It depends on the village, on the town, on the people, the community. Also what you do yourself.
And work. And,
like, if you are very open, like you are, you met some of our friends, some of our family, you are very open, and you will go and do initiative and you would put effort into it. Everything takes effort, but also for a Dutch person to move to a new town, right? So it all depends. I think you would be fine, but of course it's like, I think Americans are open and friendlier, a little bit easier. Like when we came to America, it was like, it was so super, super friendly and easy to connect with. For the Dutch, it might take a little bit longer. Like it's like a little first layer you need to peel off or something. But then,
I see that.
Yeah.
I see that. And look, I've known you guys for a long time, and I think I even know some members of your family.
Yeah.
I think I have the same advice that I give to move to any country too. You can't come and you can compare it. You can't say, "Oh, why are the cars too small? Why are you have to embrace it too and appreciate it."
Yeah.
So it's not you may find some things that are different, just the same as someone Dutch that came to America.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. Perfect. Wow. Thanks. I loved it.
Well, you know what we have to do at the end,
which is.
So the most interesting thing that I heard on this, everyone, I've heard a lot of noises at the end of conversations when people leave the house. In America, it will just be like, all right, see you later, bye. Here, maybe we could do the range of them. I've heard, woo, tui tui, oh, woo. But and I was like, what is that? I thought it was like a bird sanctuary.
It is.
No, but at first I was like, this is a little weird, but it's not weird like, oh my God, get me out of here, I'm afraid. But it was kind of cute. It's kind of cute, and now I do it. When people leave, they go, tui tui.
That's a perfect ending to this video, right? I'm just going to sit here. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. I'm just going to let him make a few more of those noises. And I can't wait to see you again, or to come back to America, of course, to see more of the American culture yourself. But you do. Go.
Tui tui.
You have more?
And I'll do a mascot one.
Oh.
Oh. Tui tui.
Well, very masculine. Thanks,
bro.
Bo. High five.
Come to the Netherlands.